Hi, this is Shannon with Anatomy and Physiology 2, Bio 240, and this is lab exercise video for week 6. And this is my video presentation of the digestive system, what happens when you eat a cheeseburger. I thought it might be better if I had some demonstration that was on the computer so that I could point to areas that you could actually see instead of just pointing to parts of my body. So I hope this is helpful. Digestive system and how it works. The digestion process actually starts prior to you even having the burger. The smell, the idea, all of those things are the first step in digestion when you ingest the food into your mouth. But prior to that, your salivary glands are preparing your body for the mastification of the food that you ingest. And the major organs of the system are the mouth, the pharynx, the esophagus, the stomach, small intestines, the large intestines, and then also the accessory organs, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. So at the point of ingestion, it goes into the mouth, and the mouth will break up the food. Digestion is both mechanical and chemical, so there are chemical enzymes that happen in the mouth and the stomach and in the intestines. And everything starts at the mouth with the salivary glands, the tongue, the teeth, to do the mechanical chewing for the food that you ingest, the cheeseburger, for instance. Once the food is ingested, then it starts going through the system, and that is that slide. So the mouth starts the process. The mouth is going to include the lips, the tongue, the palate, the gums, and the teeth, and that will do the chemical part or the mechanical part of the digestion process. And the salivary glands are going to be involved in part of the chemical. The saliva starts to break down some of the foods, and then the organs play parts as the food goes through the system, through peristalsis, which is like a wave, a muscle wave, starting at the mouth, going all the way down until the food is eventually eliminated through the bowels. So the large molecules are ingested. The food is broken down into smaller parts, and then the tongue and the mastication happens because of the tongue, the teeth, and the saliva all working together, making the food into bolus, which will then make its way down into the stomach. So digestion, like I said, is mechanical and chemical. It's going to break down that cheeseburger, starting with the mouth. Digestion, the carbohydrates are the digestion of carbohydrates begins in the mouth, and then it's taken into the next place that it starts to be broken down, the carbohydrates, is the duodenum. And then there it mixes with the digestive secretions from the pancreas, liver, and gallbladder. The digestion of proteins. So proteins are going to mostly be digested in the stomach. The enzyme pepsin plays an important role in the digestion of proteins by breaking down the intact protein to peptides. The chemical part of digestion is pretty complex. The easiest part is really what's happening up in the mouth, just the mechanical part of breaking the food into smaller particles so that it can be absorbed into the body. And then lipids begin digestion in the stomach, and then bile helps that break down even further and be utilized. Vitamins, the absorption and digestion of vitamins, they can be either water soluble or lipid soluble, and that is absorbed mostly in the intestines. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go back through this whole area. So again, mechanical digestion and swallowing is we're gonna start up here in the mouth, the mechanical breakdown of the food. As all of this starts to be broken down into smaller particles, the chemical digestion is able to start to be processed. It's going to travel down the pharynx, moves it down into the esophagus. The peristalsis continues to bring everything down, that wave that's bringing the food down to be processed through the system. And then, as we see here, this is where we start seeing the proteins are starting to be broken down, absorption of lipid-soluble substances such as aspirin, and we studied that, and it was one of our questions for our test, actually. And then we can see how exactly this is all going to work. So here, more chemical, mechanical digestion, mixing of everything. Carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids are digested down here. And as we continue to go further, more water, more nutrients are absorbed, and then what will be left will be waste, and then that will exit our body through the rectum. And that is the digestive system. And so here's another view of that. Again, that cheeseburger is going to start up here in the mouth and be broken down mechanically to be broken down further as it goes through peristalsis, through the system, to have all of those enzymes breaking it down to utilize the nutrients that are needed to eliminate the waste at the end of the peristalsis wave at the rectum. And that is the end of my presentation.